Ripple is not an ordinary company. We are not here to have a small market share or do X, do Y, and make small amount of money or something to happen. We are here to make a dent in the universe. Either we will change the remittance universe, the way you understand, the way value gets transferred across the world, between people, between institutions, or we will just fade away.
Hey, this is Lucas and welcome back to the channel. So let's get straight into this. Today, I want to talk about everybody's favorite subject, and that's the XRP price. I want to talk about how the price could and probably will go far beyond what we could imagine. And I know that there are those out there that are saying that XRP cannot achieve a super high price because of the market cap and supply. And then there are others who say that XRP is not going to go anywhere because of the lawsuit. But here's the deal. Most people just cannot wrap their heads around concepts that are outside their normal thinking or beliefs, or concepts that have not been fed to them by centralized information sources. But today we're going to talk about some of this and why a super high price, even a high price like the one Jimmy Valhi has quoted, is possible and someday will be probable. First, let's take a look at what normalcy bias is. Normalcy bias is a cognitive bias which leads people to disbelieve or minimize threat warnings. Consequently, individuals underestimate the likelihood of a disaster when it might affect them and its potential adverse effects. The normalcy bias causes many people to not adequately prepare for natural disasters, market crashes, and calamities caused by human error. About 70% of people reportedly display normalcy bias during a disaster. So this is just like the movie Titanic. We see the boat, it just hit an iceberg. It's freezing cold out, the water's ice cold, and the boat is sinking. And death and destruction is certain, and yet those on board, let's say that some on board were having drinks on the deck, and we saw that the violin and cello players, they were playing music to people. And, the people, they refused to believe that something so extraordinary could happen to them. And that was the sinking of the Titanic. But normalcy bias is just not in disasters. It also applies to the extent that our imagination is able to travel into possibilities when we're anchored in our dull, repetitive daily life. What I mean is, let's say that I've had a life that has led me to have never challenged my beliefs or stray outside of my comfort zone. Then there's probably going to be less of a chance that I will believe things could happen that are outside of my understanding. This is why when you tell your friends or family about cryptocurrencies or how everything in the world will be digital and that there's going to be this thing called the metaverse where you shop and live, they make a face at you like you're crazy or stupid. People just can't believe what is outside their normal routines or beliefs. So that leads me to the XRP price. One day, XRP is going to shoot up a lot, and it's going to happen very fast. And then people are going to say, man, where did that come from? That was fast. I can't believe that happened. But in fact, the process of XRP becoming a $100 or $500 token or even a $10,000 token is already underway. Everything is being put into place right now, and the price has just not caught up to the progress yet. Right now, we're being told unequivocally what Ripple is doing and what XRP will become. But this concept is so far past people's normal thinking, they cannot envision a token doing what XRP will do and having such a far reach. We're being told that reserve banks will use XRP for their CBDCs. We're being told that Ripple is going to be working on the US digital dollar, and we're being told that banks will use XRP for money transfers. We're being told that Ripple is working with the IMF and World Economic Forum, and that XRP will be used for NFTs, derivatives, and web monetization, and working with the largest entertainers in music and gaming. But most just choose not to believe it. And we see all of this summed up by a digital asset investor. It says Fed Now at Ripple, Digital Dollar Project at Ripple, Digital Euro Association at Ripple, Digital Pound Foundation at Ripple, United Nations at Ripple, IMF at Ripple, WEF at Ripple. So Ripple is everywhere. It's under every single rock that is being overturned. And we're also being told unequivocally that XRP will have to have a high price in order to move all the money that needs to be moved. And if we look at this David Schwartz tweet, he tells us this. He tells you it can't be dirt cheap. That doesn't make any sense. If XRP costs $1, they'd need a million XRP, which would cost 1 million. If XRP cost $1 million, then they would need one XRP, which would again cost $1 million. Except that higher prices make payments cheaper. Right now, you can buy $1 million house with Bitcoins. When Bitcoins were $300, it would move the market too much and be too expensive to be practical. So higher prices make payments cheaper. And we're also being told that there will not be separate prices for the private and public ledgers. This is what David Schwartz had to say. Let's listen to it.
There was another question that came up, and I don't know if this makes sense, but the question is, will the value of XRP be the same in the private ledgers as it is on the public?
Yes. The value proposition of XRP is that it has these liquidity pools. It doesn't make sense to isolate something. Like, there's no place where gold is worth twice as much as it is now, because if there was, people would just bring gold there and they would they would buy gold somewhere else and they would sell it there. Unless the only way that you can have the value be very different in two places is if there's a lot of friction. And if there's friction, someone will make a business of removing that friction. So I don't see any realistic scenario where XRP has significantly different value unless something's wrong. Like, a good example of a case, there was a time where the value of XRP, they called it the kimchi premium, right? Where the value of XRP in some Asian countries was very high, but that was because there were capital controls, right? That was because things were bad. I think that's a sign that something is not going well. The value proposition of XRP is that you can take it to all of the places, right? If I sell you some gold and you say, hey, this gold can only be used in jewelry, you're like, well, that kind of sucks. I don't want that gold, right? The value proposition of gold is that you have access to the entire value proposition of gold. And so I don't see any scenario in which where it makes sense to snip pieces off, again, unless something is wrong.
So what Ripple is doing is not being hidden from you in any way. It's not in the dark. You don't have to have a flashlight to see it. It's not hidden in smoke and mirrors or anything. It's in plain sight for anyone to see. All you have to do is put the pieces together and recognize the opportunity. And when people start talking about a $500 or a $1,000 or a $10,000 XRP, the naysayers are all going to say, but that means XRP would have to have a $500 trillion market cap. That's not going to happen. I believe that when the world shifts into a true digital economy, market caps will be meaningless. And I want to talk about a quote I heard back in the day from, or actually I read, or I know some people had actually repeated this quote and talked about it in their videos. But if the quote was from Hodor, who was a blogger who covered XRP and Ripple, and he was a very smart guy who seemed to be able to see large concepts and the future of what XRP could be. And he wrote in his blog, the big number. I know what you're wondering, because I wondered the same thing. At what XRP price point will Ripple be worth $1 trillion? And he says 17 USD right here. And then how will the world view Ripple? So you're mentally and emotionally prepared for it. The price won't stop at $17. It will keep going past this artificial construct that makes people uncomfortable. While most crypto analysts have given a maximum price points of XRP as somewhere between 5 and 50, there are some very insightful analysts who placed their upper estimates at well over $100. So even he knew way back then, in probably 2017 or 2018, that the price of XRP would challenge the belief system of those who predicted prices and did technical analysis. So the next financial shift will be so huge that most people won't believe that it happened. It will be outside the realm of our understanding. The world's largest corporations and organizations that are made up of the world's richest people who hire the world's smartest people are working towards this shift. I highly suggest that if you haven't watched it, to go watch The Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order, and that is a video and a book that Ray Dalio produced. And this will give you some insights into what is coming in the next few years. But also imagine mega cities with drones for delivery, driverless cars, Wi-Fi internet that will allow internet access from any light in the city, vertical farms, and a total shift away from any physical goods to digital goods. And now this is the shift that's going to happen. Digital currencies will be used for most of these new technologies that we will shift to. So let me finish with this. We heard the beginning quote from, I believe it was Naveen Gupta, who told us that Ripple plans to make a dent in the universe. Does a $2 XRP at the number 8 spot and maybe a few banks using XRP for money remittances, does that sound like a dent in the universe to you? We see who the players are in the world of XRP and Ripple. People like Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, Rosie Rios, Michael Barr, Greg Kidd, Sandy O'Connor, Susan Athey. So do these people seem like a crew that would take anything else other than complete and utter dominance in the crypto space? These people are made of the same material that Elon Musk is made of, and we see what he's doing. And let's be honest here, most of us in this community are not working for Fortune 500 companies, so we cannot fully understand or comprehend what these people can achieve or understand their levels of motivation and persistence. And really, they operate on a whole different level when it comes to finance. In the same way that most of us can't understand what it would take for a world-class runner to complete a 4-minute mile. Now, me and you might not be the CEOs of large finance companies, but we have other gifts. We're able to see the vision that these smart people are creating, and some of us are brave enough to invest in a project that will run all the world's commerce and tokenize assets long before most in the world will even hear of it. And we have faith. We have faith in XRP. We stack it and pack it, waiting for our chance to walk through the door of opportunity. So tell me in the comments below what you think the price of XRP will end up being. What do you see in the future of XRP and Ripple? And if you enjoy this content at all, please hit the like and subscribe and the notification bell, and please share it. Until next time, take care.